Hello everyone, Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Market conditions, bearish in a bull market, still deteriorating. Yesterday, a pretty decent down move. Looks like futures are down again this morning. And we're still sitting right at this significant support area, though we'll watch to see how that looks today. We saw momentum sliding down just a little bit, still getting the divergence between price and momentum, which is a bullish indicator currently, and then also breadth getting a similar indication right here on not getting a new or equal low on breadth. And sentiment is still relatively high at these levels. We've also got the buy-sell ratio, which we've been talking about this last 2 or 3 days, back at 11.10. Yesterday was 0.13, the day before 0.09. So we'll see what today ends up bringing as well. Let's look at that S&P chart, and then we'll talk about a couple of other indicators. Let's go to this 1-year time frame. This is this range that we've been talking about. In fact, I'm going to come out just a little bit wider and then grab this area right here, and we will talk about these lows. This 382 level. So that 416 area, we could, let me just see if that's sliding out. It's not grabbing. There it goes. We're sitting right at that 416 area. Yesterday was that with that move lower. So that 416, and you can see if I draw, pull my mouse across right here, we've got this really significant support area, and this actually goes all the way over this direction as well. Back into 2020 and 2019, there were some areas that this area also was showing major support. So we'll watch to see. We could get a gap lower. If we gap lower and then start to see some buying, could be an indication of some support. But we're in this process right here where we're just deeply oversold, and we could bounce around right here for a few days, and but we're definitely are at an extreme level where the downside momentum has got to bounce back up just a bit before any kind of continuation. And typically at these locations, we do start to find some kind of support or reversal, and we'll keep an eye on that. Indices, we've got Dow stocks back up to 4, so 0.27, NASDAQ 0.07. So a little bit of increase on some of these indices yesterday, and again, they're just so heavily weighted towards downtrends on stocks right now that it's an unsustainable location that we want to be aware of. Sectors, let's look at that. We probably saw some of those sliding yesterday as well. Yep, we've got it's 2 now in uptrends: utilities and consumer goods. Let's look at utilities and see what that looks like, because that actually had a pretty nasty sell-off. You can see that entire downtrend. I'm going to skip this back to 6 months, and you can see it actually had a pretty big bounce off the bottom and rallied back up, pull back. So it's actually working its way back towards that upper range, but still stuck in a hold area on utilities. Let's take a look at some of the current stocks today. Muscle Stocks Group, DAKT. This stock has gone back and forth a few different times from the hold to buy. So it pops back into that new buy, but it's finding support in that momentum zone, and had a really nice confirmation bar yesterday on a pretty ugly day. And we'll see if we get some continuation on DAKT. Let me refresh this for you so we can get a good look at what other stocks we've got in the group today. ACGL, which is Arch Capital, rally higher, really faded hard. It's kind of an ugly looking bar right there, and see if it can hold some support. SRRK, medical stock, finding some momentum up into that momentum zone. PRDO, a little cleaner looking stock, not quite as volatile. We're seeing some education industry stocks that are starting to pop back into that scan. Microsoft had nice earnings. It popped back up into that buy zone as well on a pretty big gap. Basic material stocks. SWBI, that's a nice bounce off of that momentum 236 zone. We get up above this location, above this 236, and we get a pullback, and it starts to find some support here That's a nice entry location because you've cleared this upper support area, you've pulled back and tested it, and now you get a confirmation of that retest. A stop loss could be placed right at the low of that location right here, and then watching for some continuation on a stock like that. We did have a pretty nice pop on the stock we talked about yesterday, those crypto miners. It moved 12% yesterday. Keep an eye on some of those. If Bitcoin continues to run, these stocks have got a lot more upside to them. That may be a place to be able to focus as markets are pretty volatile right now. That'll do it for today's update. If you don't have full access to the site and software, you can sign up with the link below. And we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.